You got arrested with a gun within 6 months of you being placed on probation. So, what else am I supposed to think?
Go where I want and I do what I want. My belt match the kicks, don't you go bunny.
Ain't to the G, man. Who you think it gonna be? And we back with another twist-turn story ripped straight off the headlines with sentencing. Quantavius Greer. The whole world has been buzzing about the YSL trial and Young Thug for the better part of a year. A major trial that has sparked many debates about snitching and which one will or has already.
How can I help myself? Yes, I'm asking.
But among the many co-defendants in the biggest RICO case of the decade, today we focus on not Young Thug or Gunna, but Young Thug's brother, Quantavius Greer, aka Unfunk. On December 20th, Quantavius took a widely televised deal to cooperate against Young Thug if the DA were to call him to the stand as a witness. The other stipulation for Quantavius Unfunk Greer is to be placed on 10 years of probation that'll be served instead of prison, as well as a 10 p.m. curfew. Being set free to carry out that sentence on the streets, it wouldn't even take 6 months before Quantavius would find himself back in front of the same judge that granted Unfunk his release previously. Unfortunately, it was for a new felony gun possession case that didn't catch me by surprise, but by how fast it happened, shocked the world. Quantavius' lawyer would argue not the innocence of her client, but for leniency instead, requesting only 2 years be the amount of time to be served in prison to an unsympathetic court.
The recommendation would probably be significantly less. And considering all that you've heard today, Your Honor, we're asking to revoke 2 years to the state prison system.
So you want me to revoke 2 years?
The DA would argue that not only was Quantavius guilty of the new gun charge, but he was in violation of his curfew as well, and hasn't done any of the probationary requirements that were asked of him.
It was only when they themselves spoke of the gun that the defendant made the utterance, "It's registered."
Not only did the judge go through the evidence in open court, but he personally spoke to Unfunk about the plea agreement he signed that stated 6 different times Quantavius was not to carry, possess, or own a firearm until his rights were restored, which wouldn't have even been a possibility until the year 2033. Due to such a short time being on the streets, the RICO case still pending, the new gun possession charges, the violation of every rule he signed, the judge was forced to give Quantavius the maximum sentence, which is the remainder of his probation in the Department of Corrections for the better part of a decade.
You got arrested with a gun within 6 months of you being placed on probation. And I agree with the state that you're not a candidate for probation because all you had to do is just complete your probation and do what you're supposed to do. Instead, you were riding around the car with a gun in violation of your probation and what this court explicitly had conversations with you about. Explicitly, on the record. And for that reason, sir, I'm going to revoke the balance of 9 years and 6 months. And you will serve that in the Department of Corrections. And that will be the sentence of the court. Anything further?
Okay, man. Now this is the true definition of going out sad. I predicted this was going to happen to a majority of the co-defendants that took this ridiculous deal of 10 years or 15 years of probation. I want to say it's damn near impossible for anyone who took this deal to make it the whole way. Unfunk was the fastest person I've seen take a deal like that and get sent right back. But when you live in the same circumstances and don't change anything about your behavior or habits, what do you expect? But hey, I'm still following the case very closely, and I'll be sure to give you the play-by-play. So, thank you for tuning in. If you made it all the way to the end, that means you put some paint where it ain't. And for that, you should be thanked. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to boost me in that algorithm, man. Because I know there's 10 other streamers out there doing it like me, but...
That a little 10. I'm maxed out.